Yo, what's going on everybody? In this video, I'll be showing you how to record and edit a Fortnite montage using DaVinci Resolve. Alright, so the first thing we're going to go over is how to record the clips. So there are different ways you can record your clip, but I would say the most important thing is that your clip will be recorded in 60 FPS. So sometimes I record using Streamlabs, and if I were to record an in-game clip, make sure you use game capture to record it. And for your output settings, make sure it's set to 60 FPS. Most games can run at 60 FPS, and it just makes everything look a lot better, especially when you're slowing down and speeding up clips. So that's the one thing. Make sure it's at 60 FPS, 1080p at least. Now, I record most of my clips with NVIDIA Shadowplay, so it's pretty much just records the clip and dumps it out into this folder. So there's not much to it. I mean, the clips can be a minute long, they can be 10 minutes long, it could be an hour-long clip. It doesn't really matter, whatever works for you. But just make sure your clips are 1080p and at a highest possible bit rate. So you'll notice here on my output settings, if you go to recording, there's an option for bit rate. So it's the similar option as streaming. So I'm streaming at 3500 bit rate, but recording, I can record it at much higher bit rate, which will give me better quality. So when I record, I do 80,000 bit rate, but that's definitely overkill. I would do something about like 40,000 to 50,000 bit rate. That's good, but it doesn't really make much of a difference, especially after you do all the encoding and uploading to YouTube. Once you got the clips recorded, now I'm going to show you how to choose your song. So I get my songs off of YouTube, especially if you're going to be uploading your montage to YouTube. It's probably best to get it from YouTube. So let's say I want to use this song right here. I usually just go to the official music video and scroll down and make sure that video has a license to YouTube by section. What this means is this song was licensed to YouTube by the copyright owner, so that any video uploaded on YouTube with that music will be, all the revenue will be credited to the copyright holder. So that means that you can still make your montages. The only problem is you won't be able to monetize it and won't be able to make money off of it. But I don't think any of us are trying to make money off of these montages. We just want to show everybody how awesome our skills are. So what happens is when you do upload a video with music that's already licensed to YouTube, if you go to your YouTube studio, you'll notice you'll get a copyright claim. And when you first see it, you're probably gonna freak out and be like, oh my god, my channel is gonna get a strike. But that's different. That's not a copyright strike. It doesn't affect your channel. All it does is make it so that the video can't be monetized, and if the copyright owner decides to put ads on it, your video will show ads and all that revenue will be going to the rightful owner. So as long as the video has a license to YouTube section, you're in the clear to use the song.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state never ever seen this.
Alright, this is vanilla. So at this point, you want to download the music of it, right? So the easiest way to do it is you go to YouTube to MP3, this website, type in the link, and download it. So here's your song. You download it like this, and there you have it. Now you have your song. So now that we have the song that we want, and I'm assuming we have the clips that we want, we can go ahead and fire up DaVinci Resolve and get to work. So the first thing, I would import the clip. So the clip I will be using today is this one here. Woo! Yeah, we'll use this one. Woo! Right, we can use this one. So that's the clip. You want to drag it into the media pool section right here. It's going to ask you, the clips have a different frame rate. Would you like to change your timeline frame rate and video format to match? This is because the clips are 60 FPS, but this project by default is 30 FPS. So yes, click change, and you'll see the clip here. Drag it over here into the timeline, and now you can go ahead and add your song, your music. So here it is right here. You can also drag it into the media pool first, and then drag it into the timeline. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is cut the clip to where we only thanks for the follow, Andre Cool Indie, to the part that we really want, because it's a minute long clip. So first is click the M here, that will mute both the audio tracks, and then just find the place where you want to cut it. So the other thing is you want to click on this icon here, which is the editing tab. You have the cutting tab, and this is the editing tab. So you want to cut the clip, so hit this tab. So we're gonna find the actual spot of the clip that we want to keep. Let's say just this part. So you want to clip, right click, split, select the first part, delete. Now move the first part all the way to the beginning, and here you go. So this is what it looks like. Again, we probably don't need this walking around part. We just want the juice. We just want the sauce. So somewhere about here, and right click, split, select the first one, delete, go back. All right. So now we have like the section of the clip that we're gonna work with. Okay. We can also kind of get rid at the end a little bit. Boom. Okay. Now, depending on where in the song or where in your timeline the clip is gonna be, we're gonna have to match it to the audio. So go back to the audio. We go back to the edit tab. And we're gonna unmute both audios. Now it's gonna sound a little weird.
Back with the remix.
So we want to get rid of the clips audio, but unfortunately by default it's linked. So you have to go right click, unselect link clips, and zoom out a little bit. Take the audio and just only select the audio. Boom, reduce it to nothing. That's it. There you go. So now we only have the music and there's no audio in the clip, which is fine. All right. So at this point, what we want to do is add flow to the clip. We want to make it flow, and the way you do it is with time remapping, like ramping up, slowing it down. So usually you want the actual kill to be on some sort of beat. So let's listen to the song and see where the beat comes in.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state never ever seen this. Jimmy Neutron, I'm a young boy genius. On a futon, I'ma give it that penis. When it's just done, I'ma fill up arenas. Ooh, like Gilbert Arenas. Shoot my shot, I'm still with the demons. Ooh.
So you need something in the beginning. Let's see.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state never ever seen this.
I've seen this. This is like the beat of the song.
Back with the remix. These boys are
back with the remix. So that's the first kind of like beat of the song, right? So back with the remix. What do we want the clip to do? We don't want it to just go in circles, right? Maybe when she crouches. Back with the remix, right? With the crouch. So we can kind of time it a little bit like that. Just alter it a little bit. And now let's see.
Back with the remix. These boys are my
right. We want her to uncrouch.
Back with the remix. Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city.
I mean, this even happens to match without any time remapping, but it's gonna look a lot better when we do add it. Alright guys, so now we have the clip lined up like
Back
this.
with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state never ever seen this. Jimmy Neutron.
Right, so but we want flow at the beginning, and
Back
we
with
want
the
the
remix.
crouch here to be slowed down, essentially. Like right here. So we're gonna crop it like this, and then in order to slow down a clip and time remap, you have to go retime curve. Boom. Yep. And now instead of retime frame, you want to change it to retime speed and remove frame. Okay, so now you just have the speed line. This is how fast it is. So this line is going to be straight because the whole clip is 100% speed. The speed of it is 100%. Now we could change it. Now if you unmute this song again, first.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state.
So you want to just focus on the first part, which is when it sits down. Back, and it's like back with the remix. We set down and then slow it down when the crouch happens. Like that. So we're gonna, at this point, hit this button here. Select it first and then hit this button. Okay. Now, yep, like this. Now, when do we want to end it? So zoom into here because it's kind of frame by frame. When do we want to end the slow-mo? When I crouch back up, right here. So create another keyframe right here. Now we can slow it down by just dragging it down here. I see as you slow it down, it becomes longer. So now you can just see how it looks.
These boys are my sons like Phoenix.
So
back with the remix. Back with the.
And we want back with the remix to be where the crouch happens. So we really gotta bring it back.
Back with the remix.
It's too far back. You have to kind of mess with it like this. We'll find the perfect spot.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix.
Honestly, it looks like it's too long. It's been slowed down too much. So let's slow it down to like 50%.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix.
Like when it says Phoenix, let's say that's what I want the kill to happen, right? So slow it down. I do this little back and forth. Slow it down. Do it back and forth. I'm gonna start moving towards the other direction. Another keyframe. This one I bring up. Phoenix is
all my sons like
Phoenix is here. So it goes like this.
These boys are my sons like.
And then always, whenever you're doing the shot, whenever the shot actually happens, you want it to be like slow right after the shot. So when you see the name pop out like this, you want to slow it down. Usually, see the name will kind of pop out and then get smaller and then get bigger again. But at the point where it's smallest, you want to put the second keyframe, slow it down a lot, like 20%. So now it looks like this.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state.
Right, it looks okay, but this very low FPS here. It looks very jittery, I guess. Very stuttery. Now that's because we took a 60 frame per second clip and slowed it down to 22%. So that means that the clip is now, I don't know, like 15 or 20 frames per second. So obviously it looks like this. But there's the thing you can do, which is called interpolation, where the program is going to essentially create frames in between those frames to make it look smooth. There's going to be artifacts, but it's going to be worth it. So the way to do it, you want to do it for pretty much any clip where you slow it down like below 50%. Because if you're recording at 60 FPS, you slow it down 50%, now the clip is 30 FPS. 30 FPS is bearable, but anything lower than that, you easily notice that it's kind of weird. But it's really easy to do. All you do is go to Edit, select it, click Inspector on the top right, and you'll have an option if you scroll down, Retime and Scaling. You just open it up, Retime Process. You want to select Optical Flow. Okay. Now in the preview, it might not look very good, but as you can see, now when the slow-mo happens, it just looks a lot smoother. There's this optical like illusion thing, artifact going on, but it still looks good. That's literally all it is. A lot of people miss that simple option of changing your retime to optical flow instead of frame flow. And that's really it when it comes down to like matching a clip and giving it some flow. So let's check it out again.
Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix.
Now in the preview, it's not going to look very good, unfortunately. So what we can do is just render it out so we kind of get a idea of what it looks like. So right click, go ahead and go to cut, right click, split, boom, delete. Okay, and now we're going to go file, export, quick export, 60 FPS, 9020p. And we're just going to do a quick export. It's always good to do exports early on, kind of get an idea of exactly how the project is going to look like. Export right here, and let's this be version 1. It shouldn't take very long because it's just one clip. So here's what we got so far. Now we're gonna open it with not with media player. For some reason it doesn't play things very well. Open it with VLC media player is the best one. I recommend you guys. So this is what it looks like right now.
Bag with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state.
And this is where you would transition to a new clip.
Never ever seen this. Jimmy Neutron, I'm a young boy genius.
Right? Just one little part of it. Now that we have this done for one clip, there's one more thing left to do. And that is the color correction. That's very important to make the clip look, give it that cinematic feel, and just make all the colors pop and make it look a lot more professional. So it's really easy to do. Again, all you do is select the color tab. All right, and you have this node. We want to add a LUT. A LUT is like a preset. We're gonna use a preset and then tune it. So a LUT that I use that looked pretty good, I think. You can choose any LUT you want. It's really up to you. I would just experiment with a bunch of them, but I think the one that worked for me was film looks. Yeah, film looks. You want that film cinematic look? Go for D. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. We can do the first one. See, the first one, you can kind of get a preview here. It doesn't look very good. Too many shadows. But that's okay. We can adjust it. We can also just test other LUTs. So the 3D LUT. No, we'll do the first one. Film hooks, first one. Okay. So now we can go and kind of adjust some of the things so the clip looks a lot better. And the things you want to adjust is right here on the bottom. Contrast, pivot, saturation, hue. I would really mess with the hue. Contrast, definitely. If you lower the contrast, there's less shadows. So the default was 1. So if you bring it down just a little bit, like maybe 0.5, right? And we can still, now you can mess around with these knobs, and it's literally just messing around with them to whatever you think looks good. There's obviously there's a method to the madness, but it's like a whole nother thing. And when you're just doing a montage to make it look cinematic and make it look good, you can go by feel. So boom, we just added a LUT, and it color corrected our things, and we can still mess around with everything with the curves and add certain curves and all that stuff, but that's really up to you and how much time you want to spend on it. This is just a tutorial on how to get it set up and how to kind of get it all working. So once you have done the color correction and you've added flow to the clip and you've synced it with your feed, now it's time to export once again to see what we have. So let's do that. Guys, we got the montage rendered. Let's go ahead and open it with VLC media player. So this is what we have so far.
Bag with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city and state never.
As you can see, it looks a lot better, a lot more flow to it. The quality definitely could be a little better, but that's on me for recording it, not the best quality. I mean, now the only thing left really is to add more clips, add the transitions. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed part 1 of the series on how to edit Fortnite montages on DaVinci Resolve. In the next part, I'll talk about transitions and a few other effects and just how to make your workflow smoother. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if we get 10 likes on this video, then I'll make a part 2. As always, thanks for watching. Need for Beans out. Peace!